Hello and welcome back to another episode of TEW. We are back for, I believe, episode 12 now. Monday Night Raw. We are at the First Direct Arena in Birmingham, England, I believe, or it might be Manchester, England. One of the two. And we have got a show which includes, as Adam Pearce is announcing right now, a fatal four-way to decide who Gunther will defend his World Championship against at Survivor Series. So if you're looking forward to the show, please do leave a like down below. Comment who you think we're going to have win that, which is going to be even more impressive if you don't know who's in it. And subscribe if you're enjoying the content as well. Let's jump into the rest of the pre-show with a decent wrestling but little heat. Bron Breakker defeats Dragon Lee in 8 minutes 6 with a gorilla press slam, getting a 55 rating. Not too bad for us there. And we then go into Io Sky defeating Shayna Baszler in a decent wrestling match, but not much heat. Moonsault press for the win. 66 segment rating, which is pretty good for us. And hopefully, with some of the stuff that we've got lined up for on this show, we'll start to see better ratings coming through for the overall shows. And next up we have another pre-show bout. Decent wrestling, little heat. Ilya Dragunov defeats JD McDonough and Ludwig Kaiser with a Gruce out of Moscow. 65 rated, so in ring we are definitely improving. And finally, weirdly in a match that had terrible wrestling, Penta El Zero Miedo defeats Joaquin Wilde in 11:51 with a fear factor. Gets a 48 rating. So I wasn't planning to have Penta appear until he made his debut. However, obviously I accidentally spoiled it in the last episode by him being in my roster list. So nevertheless, we will bring him in on the pre-show prior to his debut. But obviously, when he debuts, we're just going to pretend that everybody's surprised to see him because he's only been on the pre-show. You know how it is. In our opening segment of the actual show, we get a 69 rated match. Gunther opens Raw. He states he's seen what happened at Crown Jewel when Sami Zayn was distracted by Jacob Fatu before the end of their match. And as a result, he invites Sami Zayn to the ring. And he says, I'm willing to offer you a title match next week. No Bloodline will be allowed at Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn says he wants to accept, but for after Survivor Series. He's got unfinished business with the Bloodline that he wants to go and deal with. So Sami is expected to be on SmackDown from the sounds of that this coming week. And in our opening match on the main show gets a 46 rating, a terrible wrestling match with non-existent crowd heat. Natalya defeats Ivy Nile by submission in 6 minutes 37. Not really too fussed about that because the main thing is after that match, which gets a 54 rating, Liv appears on screen with Dom and congratulates Natalya on earning a title shot. Liv is going to continue her run of trying to defeat all of Rhea Ripley's challengers. She beats Zelina Vega at Crown Jewel. Next on her list is Natalya. And next up we have The Miz, who says, I've got a challenge for the Wyatt Six later tonight. Meet me in the ring. So, no clear sign of what that is. But after their attack last week, he's saying, yeah, I'm ready for you. I'm not scared. Meet me in the ring. And following that, we have a bout that was a terrible match. Dominic Mysterio defeated Martin Kirby in 2 minutes 43 with a frog splash. This was just to give Dom a win. Gets a 44 rating. And after the match, as Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan celebrate in the ring together, CM Punk returns. Him and Rhea chase off Liv and Dom. And CM Punk gets the microphone and tells him, anytime, any place, I can beat you, Dominic Mysterio. Meet me in this ring whenever you want. 65 rating there. However, that lost heat, which isn't ideal. But we'll see if we can sort that out in the coming weeks. After that, Gunther is seen backstage. He says, look, I respect Sami Zayn enough. I will guarantee him, as long as I'm still champion, a title shot whenever he wants. Gets a 75 rating. So another good segment for us there. Next up, The Miz introduces the Wyatts to their challenge It's AOP, and they have no chemistry with Paul Ellering, which is very awkward. Gets a 42 rating, and I'm going to actually pop back and remove Paul Ellering from their manager then. And following that, in a wild brawl that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, AOP defeat the Wyatt Six when Razor submitted Dexter Lumis following a distraction from Scarlett. So a little hint of who may be involved with The Miz, as Scarlett helps AOP get the win. And as she mocks the Wyatt Six from the ring, the lights go out, and when they come back on, Alexa Bliss has returned. She hits the Sister Abigail on Scarlett, and the Wyatt Six surround the ring and celebrate with Alexa Bliss. To be clear, this is not Demon Alexa Bliss that we had previously. This is normal Alexa Bliss, like Goddess Alexa Bliss. And she's just aligned with the Wyatt Six out of respect for Bray, because they kind of got rid of the supernatural stuff in some ways. And that's kind of the route I'm going down, is they're not really being supernatural. They're just being who they are. And Alexa returns with them, and she may not even stay with the Wyatt Six, but she returns to help them on this occasion. Let me know down below what you'd like me to do, because I'm very conflicted on whether I want to keep Alexa with them, or if I want her to put her, or if I want to put her in her own storyline separate. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And next up, we have a poor match, which is disappointing. Bronson Reed defeats Braun Strowman in a steel cage match with a death drop driver for argument's sake. It was from the top rope. 59 rating. I thought that was going to be a bit better than that. But after the match, we also have the return of Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed gets up from defeating Braun, and as he celebrates, flying up the side of the cage is Seth Rollins, and he hits a massive crossbody from the top of the cage to Bronson Reed. Hits a curb stomp. Seth Rollins is back. And finally, we have our main event in a decent match. Damian Priest defeats Chad Gable, Rey Mysterio, and Finn Balor when Damian Priest pins Rey Mysterio with a South of Heaven chokeslam. Gets a 69 rating, which means at Survivor Series, we will have Damian Priest versus Gunther. And that gets a 69 rating, so pretty good for us there. 72 after the match. Priest is celebrating his win, and we see Finn furious outside the ring. So obviously, last week, we had Damian Priest costing Finn Balor his tag team titles, and now he's taken Finn's world title shot. So Finn, very unhappy about it. 65 rating. That is still better than what we've had recently, and hopefully it's going to start going up. Also, I would like to note, we no longer have the message about us not having enough hot storylines, so that seems like a positive thing as well. So after that Raw, we've had Shane Helms, a steroid user, so we're going to give him a suspension, has a positive impact, which is good. And Sean Daivari, same thing, again, suspension for him. And nobody unhappy with the Raw rating, which is a nice change to what we've had recently. And hopefully we can start to pick things up as we head into Survivor Series. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Comment what you think the show for Survivor Series should look like. Subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.